If you have ever lost balance just stepping sideways, this is for you. This is not weakness in the classic sense, and certainly not just age. Most of the time, it's a lack of specific training for lateral body control. The ability to shift weight to one side, bring it back, adjust the hips, align the torso, and inform the brain within fractions of a second where each part of the body is. This is what we call control of the body's axis, proprioception, and coordination between the feet, hips, and nervous system. In this video, you'll learn 3 simple, safe, and adaptable exercises designed specifically to teach the body how to respond better when real life pushes you sideways. Let's begin with the most basic movement, taking a step to the side without losing control. The controlled lateral step out exists to train something that looks simple but isn't, lifting the foot to the side, placing weight on that leg, and still keeping the torso organized, without letting the hip collapse or throwing the whole body along with it. If this gesture isn't well trained, the body reacts slowly, the foot doesn't land firmly, the knee may cave inward, and the risk of losing balance increases significantly. When you perform the controlled lateral step out, you're teaching your nervous system to coordinate 3 things at the same time: the moving foot, the hip that supports the weight, and the torso that keeps the axis aligned. Proprioception, the body's ability to know where its joints are without looking, becomes sharper. The vestibular system, deep inside the ear, receives clearer information about weight shifting from one side to the other, and the sensation is that the ground feels more solid, even though it's the same ground as always. To perform this safely, always start near a wall, counter, or sturdy chair that won't slide. Stand with both feet parallel, hip width apart, weight evenly distributed. Lightly touch the wall with your fingertips on one hand, only for safety, without leaning. Inhale, feel your body lengthen, then move one foot to the side as if taking a lateral step, without rushing. What matters is not the size of the step, but the control. When the foot reaches the floor, allow some weight to shift onto that leg, feeling the hip stack over the foot. The torso remains relatively upright, without collapsing to the side. Pause for a second to sense this weight transfer, then bring the foot back to the starting position smoothly, as if sliding along the floor rather than stomping. If at any moment you feel pain, a twisting sensation in the knee, dizziness, or fear, it's a sign the step was too large or too fast. Reset, reduce the range, and respect your limit. Over time, you can play with speed, always keeping the exercise's name in mind: controlled lateral step out. The secret is in that word, control. A short, mindful step is far better than a wide step done in a rush. The more the body practices, the faster it adjusts weight and the more readily it responds to lateral deviations in real life. The assisted single-leg stance, wall or chair, comes in as the second level of this training, focused on the critical moment when the body, even briefly, is supported on just one leg. Every time you walk, climb a step, turn a corner, or lean sideways, there's a moment when one leg becomes the base, and the other is in the air or carrying less weight. After 60, if that base isn't stable, the brain hesitates, balance fails, and many falls begin precisely at that instant of single-leg support. By practicing the assisted single-leg stance, you strengthen communication between the foot, ankle, knee, hip, and brain. The sole of the foot starts sending more precise messages about pressure on the ground, the ankle learns to make quick micro-adjustments, and the hip becomes better at holding the torso steady. It's as if your internal balance system gains a more organized control center. As a result, in real life, when the body is pulled to the side, it has more resources to recover without collapsing. To perform this safely, stand next to a wall or behind a sturdy chair that won't slide. Feet aligned, feeling the ground beneath you. Rest a hand on the wall or chair back. Again, without hanging your weight there. Think of that hand as an insurance policy you can use at any moment. Then shift your weight onto one leg, feeling that leg becomes slightly heavier and the other lighter. Once comfortable with this transfer, gently lift the secondary foot a few centimeters off the ground, without tension. the knee of the supporting leg should stay unlocked, never rigid, and the torso remains upright, as if a line were pulling the top of your head upward. Hold for just a few seconds. The goal isn't to endure as long as possible, but to allow the body to learn how to organize itself in that single leg support with assistance from the wall or chair. If you feel excessive shaking, insecurity, dizziness, or fear, lower the foot immediately and reduce the time. You can start with small blinks of support. Lift the foot briefly, place it back down, breathe, repeat. This already trains the nervous system. With practice, many older adults report that when walking outside or stepping up onto a curb, the body feels less stiff and more reliable, precisely because the assisted single-leg stance trained this delicate phase of one-leg support without real-life scares. The gentle lateral hip hinge, axis control, completes the trio by working on the heart of lateral balance, the body's axis. This movement teaches the body to tilt slightly to the side from the hips without letting the torso collapse, without twisting the spine, and without allowing weight to shift abruptly. This is the type of control needed when picking something up beside the couch, leaning to reach an object on a side table, or adjusting your body in a tight space like a narrow hallway. In the gentle lateral hip hinge, the focus is not lower back strength, but the ability of the hips to function as an organized hinge while the spine stays aligned and body weight is distributed intelligently between both legs. The nervous system learns that it's possible to lean sideways without losing the center, because the axis remains on and active. This prevents the typical lateral collapse where a person goes down together with the object they're reaching for. To perform it, stand with your feet slightly wider than hip width, comfortably. Keep one hand near a chair or wall for support if needed. Imagine your hips as the origin of the movement, not your spine. Inhale, feel the chest gently open, then begin shifting a bit more weight onto one leg without lifting the other foot. At the same time, allow the torso to tilt gently toward that side, as if reaching for an imaginary object, while maintaining the sense of a line running from the top of the head to the tailbone, keeping everything organized. The movement is small and smooth, almost like rehearsing the tilt. You can place a hand on the hip receiving more weight to feel how much it's involved. After a few seconds in this position, use the strength of the hip and the muscles around the waist to bring the torso back to center, without rushing. The return is just as important as the lean. It's where the body learns how to rescue itself from the side, which is essential when, in real life, you lean too far and need to come back quickly. If you notice spinal discomfort, a twisting sensation, or loss of balance, greatly reduce the range. Think more about waking up the body's sensors than testing limits. The idea is that with a gentle lateral hip hinge, your brain understands there is a safe path to lean sideways and return without panic or abrupt movement. This trained path is what reduces the risk of sudden lateral collapse. When we combine the controlled lateral step out, the assisted single leg stance, and the gentle lateral hip hinge, we create training that directly addresses the situations that most commonly cause sideways falls after 60. First, you learn to step sideways with awareness and control. Then, you train safe single leg support without fear. Finally, you teach the body to lean laterally without losing its axis. These three elements together build a body that responds better to real life. More important than doing everything forcefully or quickly is doing it consistently. A little each day, with attention and respect for your limits, is far more effective than one heavy session per week. If pain, dizziness, or fear appear, it doesn't mean you failed. It's feedback from your body that it needs less range, more support, and an even calmer pace. Adjusting is part of the process. I want to hear from you. Which of these three situations feels most insecure for you today? Taking a step to the side, standing on one leg, or leaning to pick something up? Tell me in the comments. That way, in upcoming videos, I can go deeper into what concerns you most and help you train not just your body, but the confidence to keep moving with autonomy, even after 60.